Welcome! In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this CLAKAP Rechargeable Underhood work light. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So here it says USB charging, weather resistant, impact resistant. So let's get this open. Okay, so here we have the light. Let's take a look at the instructions. So we have a cob floodlight, we have a strap on either end, has USB Type-C charging, an on-off switch. So here are the parameters. You can pause and read through those. So according to the Amazon description, output on this is 2600 lumen. It has a 5000 milliamp hour battery. Runtime on it is 4 hours in high brightness and 7.5 hours in low brightness. Let's measure it. So the overall length is around 22 5/8 inches. The cob length is around maybe 14 3/4 inches. Those are rough measurements. Let's turn this on. So we'll press the button, that will turn it on. Press again, it'll go to low. Press again, off. So that's very bright. If we go on the end here, we have the USB charge port. So let's try charging this. So it's currently charging at 0.38 amps. So the charge rate can depend on the state of the charge of the battery. So this is magnetic. So we have the strap here. Pull that back and you can see a magnet. And then we have hook and loop fastener. Looks like that goes all the way down to this end where we have another magnet. Then we have the strap here, and then this will rotate, has kind of a ratchet to it. So when you connect this up to a hood, you can adjust the angle. Then we have plastic straps with foam on the inside, so you can wrap that around the side of the hood, and then you can adjust this strap. Now this is also an elastic strap. And we have the same thing on the other side. So you can magnet this to your hood, or you can use these straps. So I have a number of different cars. 2 of them have aluminum hoods. With that, magnets aren't going to work. So it's nice we have this other way to mount. And there could be other cars where you have padding on the hood where you can't get a good magnetic hold. And in that case, you can use these clips. And then of course, if you use the clips too, then you can rotate it. With the magnet, it's going to face whichever direction it's going to face. So let me turn off my light here and let's see what this looks like just on my bench. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up and I'll turn it on. Okay. So this is probably about 4 foot in the air. This is on high. It's lighting up my entire bench here. I'll turn it on low. And this is also lighting up pretty good. So if I'm doing really detailed work, I'd probably want it on the high mode. If I don't need it quite as bright, I could use it on the low mode. Now, of course, when you're not using this, you can roll this up into a smaller size for storage, like so. So let's head up to the car and get this mounted up and see how it looks. Okay, I'm out here at my garage and I have a garage light on over here, but the engine bay is very dark over here. I can barely see the words here. If I didn't know what they say, I wouldn't be able to even read them. But I have the light mounted up here. Let me turn on my camera light. So you can see I have the light mounted here with the magnets. So I've taken the strap off. And this hood happens to have this kind of bend in it that points straight down. So it's just perfect for this. And here we have the engine. I might as well leave my camera light on for a second so we can see the difference. So let's turn this on now. And you can see that's a lot brighter. So now I'll turn off my camera light so you can see the contrast. Okay, so you can see my camera light was kind of projecting light down here a little bit more. But my camera light is a tiny light too. But this is much brighter. So now this is super bright. You can see every speck of dust on this cover here. So this car has a perfect place to mount these with magnets. Now I was talking about some cars have insulation. So here's insulation here. So that can impede using a magnet there. Of course, if it was magneted right here, it would be kind of pointing down. But now let's check out the straps. Okay, so now I've mounted it with the straps. Turn it on. There you can see it there. So you can see this is sitting over the hood. So this is elastic, so I can pull on this and I can move this up or down. And if we look here, we have it angled, so the light is facing down. And then if you want to tighten this, you can pull on this plastic. So I would hold onto this and then pull this through. And then you can tighten or loosen it. And again, we have lots of light. So let's do it on the low mode. So here's the low mode. There. So if I'm working on something directly on top of the engine, I might want the brightest mode. Now if I'm working on something down lower, and maybe I want the hood light is a general light, and then I want a smaller spotlight down low, I might have this on the low mode and then use more targeted light if I'm, say, in a nook or cranny. Now each side is also adjustable, so I can bring the light over to the left or to the right by adjusting the straps. So now let's try this on another car. Okay, so here I have this on a Subaru Outback. I took a step away so you can see that it lights up the whole engine bay. Now this has an aluminum hood, so this will not stick to this hood, so I've attached it with the hooks and the strap. But we have just a ton of light here. The whole engine bay is bathed in light. You can see how dirty it is. Let's try it on low. And there it is on low. So again, if I'm doing detailed work on top of the engine, I might want it on high. If I'm doing less detailed work, I could maybe use it on low. So if I was replacing the battery, I've done that 100 times or 1,000 times. I don't need a lot of light, so I'd probably use it on low. If I was installing an intake gasket or something, I might want that really bright light. Now, of course, this is not limited to hoods. If you're working under the car, you can lay this on the ground next to you to light above you. You could use it on the interior. You could wrap this strap around things or magnet to things. You could put this in a toolbox. Maybe you have a hutch on top of your toolbox. You could mount this in here to light up the inside of that. Since it's magnetic, you could attach pieces of metal to the underside of a cabinet and you could just magnet this to that. So lots of uses for a light like this. So that's the CLAKAP Rechargeable Underhood work light. I really like the versatility of this with the magnets and the strap. I like the brightness of it. It's just super bright. When you're working on a car, you really want an even light. You don't want to have rings or lines or anything in it. And having a big cob like this gives you that super even light. So if you're looking for a nice underhood light, I'd check this one out. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.